Greetings, champions. Welcome to Mars's Guiding Hand. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Sean, you gave me the wrong script. Now everyone thinks this is just a knockoff Mars stream. Great. Thanks a lot, Sean. Way to go, buddy. Way to go. You had one job. How am I going to prove to everybody that this is my stream now? Oh, wait. Hey, hold on. Maybe this will help. A wild Gaarawarr appears. Oh my gosh. Hello, everybody. For the first time ever. Ding dong. Hello, Gaarawarr is here. Welcome to my neighborhood. Wait, no. That's not right. That's not right either. What's going on, everybody? I am real. I am alive. Sort of. In my my version of a streaming closet here on the CNE Games channel. Hope everybody is having a wonderful week. Enjoying your isolation. Yes, oh my god, Garcam. It is a real thing. We have it. It's going on. Fun fact, when he's not playing Idle Champion, Gaarawarr tours with ZZ Top. Do they even tour anymore? No, it's not quite that long, but definitively a dwarf. All right, folks, I think we have everything working. We are testing out a new closed captioning system, so if we have feedback after this, maybe we'll adjust some things, who knows. But since I'm streaming here on the CNE channel, we have it built into the stream, so all of our friends that need closed captioning or just want closed captioning can join in with us, even in the VOD. Inigar, hi, hope you're all safe and well. Oh yeah, I'm doing good. Just trying to read. Apparently can't read off a screen. I don't know. All right. So for today's stream, on the official Gaarawarr stream, which is as yet still untitled Gaarawarr stream, we will fix that at some point. You just thought we had a name. You were wrong. So, we will be diving into some green grass at first. Our strategy of today is showing people how to kill the Elder Brain. The Elder Brain's a little annoying. We've seen bosses like it in events before, but this one works a little bit differently. So we are going to jump into that. You don't have to put exclamation point code. I don't even know if they turned the bot on for that. It's at the bottom of the stream. I don't know. Talk to Sean. If it's not working, it's his fault. There you go. Thank you, Meth. Alright, so, I think on the camera we're on, for those of you who don't know, I guess I should preface this, we do run two different versions of the game, so we will be switching back and forth. We will be going from the version you see now, which is my main account on Steam, it's my original one, over here to my gearless account. You'll be able to notice by a couple of reasons. One, all the champions don't have gear, but also underneath the image of the game, you'll see a little indicator that tells you which version of the game we're on. Hopefully I can keep it straight, because sometimes I totally can't either. So let's go back to the main version now. And you know what? I want my supply chest. Oh, wait. Nope. I'm on the wrong version. You guys are on the right camera. I'm on the wrong one. There we go. This will be fun today, won't it? Gaarawarrs, and then go over and change it over to 16. Stream. Unlock. Hey, Space Dan, welcome to the stream. Woo, gold supply chest. Woo. Alright, we'll open that in a bit. So, let us see. I think I am in a... I'm in Mad Wizard free play, so this must be, yes. Strad Vanzerovich. Let's get out of this. Just doing my straw challenges still. Your code gives a supply chest just like a former dwarf streamer did on Fridays. I think I know who you're talking about. And I think I'll probably be over there after the stream watching some of that action. When are the Twitch drops starting? Not today, I don't believe. Today is the normal code on the stream day. Alright, we're going to hop into the Endless War for Melf. As you can see, I've already got everything finished on this account. Helps to be a veteran and to have played this once or twice before. So we're just going to hop in here, and we are going to do, well, okay. It wants me to get rid of my patron thing, but I'll just make it do that on its own. Thank you so much for the help in the Discord yesterday. I was the one that asked you about time gates. Hey, Exquisite. No worries. When I'm available and have time, I love to help out in the Discord. Challenge completed. What challenge did I complete? Did I get... Nope, I got 5,000 for everybody but him. Alright. Alright, let's get this set up, and then I will head into the chat. I'm just going to kind of get an AFK group going here real quick. Who do I want? Who do I want? I think I want... Oh, we want the Briv. We want to skip some things with the Briv. We want to do all the speeds, all the times. Ooh, do I want Hitch? Okay, we want Melf and some Dragon Bait. There. Some Dragon Bait Z. Somebody missed up on that opportunity. Alright. Let me just get some people into speed mode here. Then I'll dive into the chat. So if you have questions about anything about the game, or especially about this event, since today's topic is about the event to end killing the Elder Brain, we can do that. Let's get Briv up to his Metalborn. That's his jumping without costing a whole lot feature, and away he goes. Alright, so we are going to let that idle. Actually, we're going to push super far today, or we're at least going to try to push super far today. So let's throw on our Super Saiyan speed boosts. Ooh, a full hour of 10x speed. So I guess I probably didn't need Shandy, but we're going to have Shandy anyway. As a cough, because that's what you do. Alright, does a Gaarawarr run a Christmas crawl during that time of the year? I have crawl in his Krampus mode all the time. So I just started the hell that is wheat from the chaff. Is the trick just to stack knockbacks and stuns? Cranrook? My trick was to set it up, get a lot of levels, and then, like, I suffered through some of the levels to make sure I had lots of power on my champs. Then I set some familiars on my champs with it set to upgrade, and then I went offline, because it calculates offline mode at 1 area per minute. So that was actually quicker than the, I think it was like 3 or 4 minutes per area I was getting with wheat from the chaff. Yeah, it's a slow variant. Treat it however you will. Jadocero, hey Gar, dude, your beard is epic, slightly longer than mine. I trimmed it a little bit once, and it's grown back out. It needs some trimming again, so I'll probably take like here and make it rounder. I don't know. We'll see. Who knows? For now, it's isolation beard mode, which it's going to grow out. However long it grows out. Questions about your beard? Let's stick to the game, but who knows? Maybe later. New dwarf on camera. Yeah, new dwarf. Who dis? This Gaarawarr. Do consoles have keyboard support yet? I think they added like the virtual keyboard. Maybe CNE can chime in on that one. It's Gaarawarr's Champion Spotlight. Oh, I wish. Alright. A new setup and a grand beard. Yes, we do have a new setup for this stream. I can talk. But it is in flux. We are still coming up with a name. It's just Gaarawarr's as yet unnamed stream for the moment. We teased out a concept of one stream name yesterday. We had a bunch of name suggestions, and we may take some more suggestions today. We will see. Question, assuming you choose to use Melf for support and not just for speed, what elf is best to pair with him to boost his buff? Any elf, honestly. I mean, he just needs an elf, right? Honestly. I don't know that I've used him for anything but speedy supplements so far. Let me just double check. It is under... Oh, I don't think I'm actually there yet. I think it's his extra support one. So we'll get him up there and we'll take a look. I mean, I'm kind of partial, personally, to a certain wild elf. Oh, maybe it is the first one. Why am I not seeing it? Am I just losing it? Increase the damage of adjacent elf. Effect is... Oh, if another elf is in the formation. It is adaptive support. Alright. Yeah, it's just any other elf. Anyone at all. I don't think I'm even running another elf right now. But if I were going to use him for support, I'd probably have Ayla in. Who is this dragon in front? The Domalicious. That is Dragon Bait. The Sorial Paladin. He's a very, very good boy that you unlock as an evergreen champion in Tomb of the Annihilation. Tomb of the Annihilation. Tomb of Annihilation. Let's just get some stuff on all the things. What I'm going to do right now with this is I'm just throwing tons of money and gold and levels in indiscriminately because I can, frankly. I'm really not worried about maximizing the formation or who's in it at the moment. I'm just speeding to my wall with click damage. As I get closer, I'll do more there, and we can talk more about strategies for this, like for people who have basically all champions like this. But then we will go into the Gearless account and look at stuff for new players. This is Deacon's Troop Weekend. Can you explain how to best leverage Quilek? Quilek is our healing boy. Where is he? Over here? No, he's over here. Right here. If I remember off the top of my head, which may or may not be correct, he likes to be next to the champion, unless you want to, like, you can put him like 2 slots away if you choose a certain spec, but that lowers the buff, so I like to put him right next to my champion. But he likes to be 2 slots away from as many people as possible in that one, because then, in the other spec, because then it doubles the buff he gets off Bless. Then he likes to be, if you're using him actually as a healer, you want to put him as far away from the tank as possible. So he has a lot of different things that you kind of got to keep in mind. There's a give and take there. I don't necessarily try to optimize off any one perfect thing, except for, obviously, my primary DPS. So with the supports, you're just kind of trying to get the best buff you can. So it's situational. Detective the Image. Or Detective the Mage, excuse me. Question, best advice for a new player in regards to the event? 2 days. I've been following your guide so far. My wall is 200. If you're at 200 already, congratulations. As a newer player, that's pretty fantastic. I mean, the best advice is just to make sure, like at that point, you should be able to finish, most of the variants. Some of these are kind of a pain. I would continue to push your wall for favor to see if you're getting close to capping out. So you can always check up here. On the complete adventure button, just hover over, see how much favor you're earning on your runs. But just try to maximize your formation and push in as far as possible, because that's going to get you the ability to do the variants super quick. Once you've finished all the variants and all you're left with is either farming favor or farming chests, then it's just all about runs to 51 and the free play of your choice to earn that random chest. So as long as you're doing the same free play for the same champion over and over and over again, like if it come out here, like I'm doing right now is the Melf free play. Hey, come on. Okay, there we go. Boom. Like if I want Narak or Ayla, I'm going to do these free plays. I'm going to do it to 51, and it's going to give me a random chest, either silver or gold. That's how you gear up your champs, basically, the main way. So, yeah. I mean, just do that kind of stuff. It's really just about who you want to prioritize in terms of gear. My recommendations, and I think most of the community's recommendation, is Ayla first. She's a fantastic tank, but she's also a fantastic support buffer, or I should say debuffer. And then Melf after that. He's super cyan speed. You definitely don't want to leave him on the shelf. And then Narak for last, because unless you're actually using him as DPS, which most people don't do, you don't actually need gear on him to get the bonus of his Githzerai support. Mars trolling me in chat with, what should I prioritize spending gems on? Mars, I would tell you, but I think you're making a visual guide for that, so I will wait for you to answer that with the guide. Gotcha. I don't know if anyone's gotten close to Melf's broken RNG. HP Devout, I believe it's broken, like legit broken, unless they patched it today. Do we have patch notes? No patch notes. Last I checked, it was legitimately broken. Let me go to the achievements and take a look. Oh, I'm at 31. That's on this run. Before this, I was at negative 446. So, yeah, I don't know. I would wait for a patch, and that one's one of those that you're going to do over time anyway, so I wouldn't be too worried about doing it right away. Hot tip from Melf's Wheat from the Chef, don't use Deacon, you end up with triple unkillable guys. I don't know. He just speeds up the rate at which they run in from off the screen. He doesn't multiply the number of people on the screen, so I don't think that would affect it at all. Some people lucked it by putting Melf. Yeah, it's not luck. There's a bug that people are using to make that happen. Catalysm, how can you play in fast mode? You can use your potions of incredible speed. Well, they should be called that. These potions of speed that you get from chests. You burn those, they'll speed you up to a max of 10 times acceleration, which is what you're looking at right now. I also have that combined with Deacon and Melf and Shandy to really zip us through this. Oh, and Sentry. So Sentry is going to reduce the number of things that I kill up here at the top right down to 17, unless it's a boss, from 25, so that makes things go faster. Deacon makes things run in onto the screen. Basically, he reduces the time it takes for something to be attackable. And then, oops, let me take that familiar off. And then Melf does one of those types of things. He can also spell on extra enemies. And then Shandy just speeds up the game, which she's not super useful at the moment because we're already at max speed, but yeah. And then Briv can just jump levels, so we're going to cruise right through this, try to get up to a higher level. Maybe do some... we're going to show off like high-level beating the Elder Brain. We'll do a low-level beating of the Elder Brain, and we may get into some... maybe some Azaka Farm. Who knows? Who knows? Do I want higher DPS or higher base damage? You want to focus not on this base DPS on the left. You want to focus on the running average or your bud down here on your ultimate bar. Those are the numbers. As you start to get more complex champions, that's what you want to pay attention to. Base DPS really kind of only gives you a ballpark figure for regular buffing champions and doesn't really calculate things that happen with debuffs and ramping buffs and all the complex stuff that comes in the game. Is this just a free play or a variant? This is a free play. We're going to just run our way up. You can see in the top right, free play Melf. We're going to run our way up as far as possible. What was the shortcut you used to place familiars so quick? Eoterra. Press F to place familiars on PC. It's fantastic. You can put it anywhere there's a little white box, and they'll do all the things. I think we're actually up. Are we high enough yet? Nope, not high enough to max everything out yet. We're getting there. I'm not sure what my soft cap is. Oh, we're still about E10 away. Alright. Not worried then. What I will do to speed this up even a little further, to make sure we're killing with click damage, is throw in a fire breath potion. Boom. Alright. Exclamation point beard is not a command. I have a feeling we're going to have more than 60 average viewers going forward. I mean, Ashgame, it always depends on the day. Fridays, we always have a few hundred people watching. Tuesday streams, for those who don't know, we also stream over on my channel, which you can see on the left at twitch.tv/Gaarawarr on Tuesdays. Tends to be a more relaxed stream, fewer people, but who knows? That may change. I'm completely new to the game. I can talk. Are there any characters I can get today as free to play, which will speed up the game? Noobzilla Melf is out right now. That's this good boy right here. He is the one of the characters that Luke Gygax, son of Gary Gygax, used to play with his dad back in the day, growing up, playing the original Dungeons and Dragons. He's this little speedy boy with his Melf's Speedy supplement. So he can do that for you. Otherwise, you can use, in the future, you'll be able to use, as you get time gate pieces and they have time gate weekends, you'll be able to pick up speedsters if you'd like. Delana is an elf. Really, any elf? Okay, maybe not Delana. But... Can you say, you shall not pass in a cross roll? No. Nope. That's the best you get. Is Melf's achievement busted? Yeah, currently kind of broken. Gaarawarr, stream name suggestion. Gaarawarr and the Criddler are partners in crime. No. But maybe Gaarawarr and the Griddler. Maybe we can get the pancake guy back. He could join me. Griddler. Yeah, that looks better. I was trying to figure out how I was going to top a pancake stream, and then I realized, well, I'd have to be butter and maple syrup. Welcome to the dad jokes, everybody. That's what you get. Put me on a channel. I'm going to skip some of the speed questions because I think we've gone over that a few times. But I'm going to try to get to everybody's questions in chat, folks. Scrolling down. That's why you see me looking towards the camera. I got my chat over here and the game over here. Something else over here. Too many screens today, folks. Too many screens. Why the medium speed pot dash in epic and rare is already 9.3. Is it worth that 0.7? Why not? I had a bunch. Not really worried. At some point, I'm going to still want it because we're going to get to a point where things will probably be hitting the formation and the speed will still be going and I can swap in somebody else and it'll be all good. If I'm done with the variants for the event, is it better to keep pushing the event wall or go back to the main campaign as a new player? A kind of a combination of both. Again, you kind of want to look at what your overall favorite is, and when you do a run, is it going up very much? For every EO1, that's scientific notation, turn it on in the settings. For every EO1 favor you get a 10% multiplier on your main campaign when you convert at the end of the event. So if you're only going up, like if you're at E10 currently, and you're not jumping to like E11 or E12 as you do a free play, and it's just kind of getting, in the partials in there, then it's probably time to just go back to the main campaign. You just kind of got to watch that because it may not be worth it just to get another 10%. Like if you're only getting 1 or 2 or 3%, that's not necessarily worth your time. Going back into the main campaign may make more sense. So you'd go back into the main campaign and then you'd just come back and do free plays to 51 and get your chests as you have tokens. I'm sure this has been said before, but I'll say it again. Appreciate the subtitles that let me keep up the stream even when I need to mute the audio or kids are yelling around me. Hey, you're welcome, Nomad. That was kind of one of my goals. Hold on, let me mute real quick. I start coughing when the stream starts. One of the goals for this stream was make sure it was as accessible as I try to make my streams. And this is kind of probably a preview of what mine will end up being with the kind of permanent closed captioning at the bottom. So the VOD users can use it as well. There are a lot of people that watch the VODs. Are you playing Melf's free play as you feel that this formation is most convenient for you or just without any special reason? TRV John Tax, I'm doing it because I want Melf gear. I don't really care about anyone else's gear. So I'm going to make this formation work at some point. I probably need to start making it work now because now we're getting hit by stuff. So let's take a look at where I can move some people around to. I definitely want maybe more of this vibe. This would be more of a Caddy Bree DPS type formation. Mainly because I've got Shandy behind her, I've got Deacon beside her. She's a little back from the tanks, but that's fine. We'll see how far that goes. We may need to start adjusting more stuff as we get closer to our wall. We're only in the 430s. I know that's very high for some of you, but for me, we should get into the 700s at least. Just started the game. Your guides on Reddit are super helpful. Ennui, if that's what you were going for. Appreciate it. I'm glad you found them helpful. If you haven't seen them yet, head over to the subreddit, and you can click on the little wiki part at the top left, and there's an entry for me, and there's a whole page full of guides. Lots of them are focused on new player stuff, and then there's lots of event stuff, and then all of the champions are covered. They are all updated. All the individual champion guides are updated for 1.0. So if we assume that I already like how this starts, Space Lancer Jericho. So if we assume that the top counter is a lying liar who lies, what's the best way to figure out if a formation is better than another? Just smash it against your wall, bud. Yes, those things. For me, I don't necessarily, when I'm swapping people in and out, I'm not necessarily watching like base DPS. If I watch, I don't even really watch running average often. I will look at it occasionally. But really, I'm looking to see if, I'm just going to leave my mouse here. I'm going to look and see if this number is changing, like that hit number. Is that going up or down? Like, is it going up every couple of seconds? Like, is it staying high? Or is it dropping like it was doing there where it was like 40 seconds without getting a higher hit? Like, that's what's going to tell me if I'm making changes that are positive or not. I want it to go up, hopefully. If it stays the same, we know we're comparable. If it's not changing at all and it just counts and counts and degrades forever, that means I did something wrong. But ultimately, when I'm beating my head against a wall, whether or not I can push another level is going to be the ultimate determinant. And sometimes you can swap a champion out, especially like a DPS, and you can go from like a single or multi-attack DPS champion and switch to an AoE champion and suddenly push your wall better just because you're able to clear the waves, even if your overall damage goes down a little bit. That you're only going to be able to tell if that works if you get to a place where you're having troubles like right now. Oof, that's a lot of stuff. So is it time to real quick talk about the Elder Brain? I think it is, because we're probably going to have to play with this formation a little bit as I'm dying. So the Elder Brain, over here on the right, if you hover over him, he is a 50 hit point aberration. Now, you would think, well, if he only has 50 health, I should be able to kill him real quick, right? But the segmented health is the problem. So when you see segmented bars like this, that means you have to hit it once per health point. So he needs to be hit 50 times. We'll hop back up here. He needs to be hit 50 times to kill him. 50 separate times. You can use multi-attack champions. You can use ultimates that do multiple hits. The true challenge with this boss is killing off all of these Mind Flayer Arcanists. Because every time they attack, they're going to heal him up. So this is about wave clear more than anything else. You need to kill off all this stuff. Because even if I'm back here clicking on this boss like crazy, which you should be able to hear on that hot mic, they're going to keep it healed. You just can't do enough damage. So we're going to have to look less at being speedy now. Oh, well, actually, we've got a soft cap, so let's see if we can just idle through with the soft cap now. But we're getting to the point where we need to start looking less at being speedy and more at being damagey and killing things. So let's see if just bumping up to the soft cap with favor help. Yeah, that'll do it. But at this point now, for those of you who are wondering, if you see these little circles with a line through it, hover over, there's nothing there. It's not like over here where it says I've got an upgrade coming up that's going to get me more damage or something. I'm done. I can't upgrade any further. There's nothing. If I click show upcoming, I go to the bottom, there's nothing upcoming. This is it. These are all the upgrades. So this is where favor stops helping you progress, and all the other things help you progress. Your item levels, your blessings, your patron perks, all that other stuff that's part of those kind of pillars of progression. Shout out to my guide. They're going to help you move forward from that point, and favor isn't really going to help you much. So we'll let that run a little bit, and I will catch up with chat again. Any tips on how to get Melf's broken RNG Feybinder? Wait for them to patch it, because it's truly broken. Although I will go look. Let's see where I'm at. We've had Melf in for a while, but I doubt. Yeah, it's still like at 23, so he rotated a bit ago, and yeah, nothing's happening. But from all accounts, it's not working currently. I see some repeated questions. You only have to ask a question once. I will get to it eventually. Sometimes when we have lots and lots and lots of people on the stream, it takes me a while to get to it, but I will get there. Do I get more bouquets the higher level I farm, or does that not matter? Third Angel, it doesn't matter at all. Bouquets, which are these things up here, this is part of your green grass event. These are the tokens. Event tokens is the general term. These drop once every 25 seconds as long as you're killing things. If you stop killing things, like if you're sitting on a wall and you can't beat a boss, and then you move back and then you kill things again, the game tries to catch you back up with what you were missing before. But it is a true time-based currency. So The only way to get extra is to come into your inventory and look for the things that I don't have any of, which are bounty contracts. I have blacksmithing contracts. I don't have any bounties. Let's see. Let's open some chests and see if I can get one. There we go. So there's medium bounty contract here in the top middle. Instantly gain 4 hours worth of gold and tokens. So when an event is live, not only does it give you gold, it's going to give you those event tokens as well. And all the bounty contracts do that. So that's what you want to kind of keep an eye out for if you want to get extra tokens and do stuff ahead of time. That's the way. Owen, did Storyteller Mars and Gaarawarr start a new account yet? We have been a little busy. There was this launch and all these streams, and we'll see. We have talked about it. For those who don't know, Mars and I both have main accounts, but then we also have gearless accounts, which we need to go take a look at. Hold on. Let's switch the camera over. Boom. Much slower. This is normal speed, folks. And we're actually going to hop back. So this account doesn't have any gear on it whatsoever, as you can see down here at the bottom. I just unlock champions and I play without gear to kind of simulate new player experiences, or more of a close to new player experience. And then I use that for making my guides. So Mars and I have talked about doing a new account where we just progress normally, just to play through the game on our streams. We'll see. All right, I'm going to hop in over here. We're going to do... Okay, I'm going to take my familiars off. I want to show more of a beginner formation fight against the Elder Brain. So I'm going to go Battle Master because I want always on damages. And let's see how much money I have. I know sort of my breakpoints on Brunor still. Okay, yeah, you can't quite get to 700, which would be his next breakpoint. Oh, 690 gets an ultimate, so close. All right. We got Celeste. That's usual. That's the normal thing. Let's bring in... I won't be able to change my spec here, but that's okay. We will do it more like this. So we've got Niley in the front. I run her Oath of Devotion on my new player account because you need some survivability. I've got Brunor with Rally. I've still got Hitch in, even after the update. I actually have him the more dagger spec, just for wave clear. He works fairly well after you surpass Jarlaxle. Jarlaxle tends to be the starting damage dealer. Actually, let's do this with Jarlaxle, and we're going to go Secret Lord of Luskan for all the damages. We'll make Jarlaxle our DPS. Alright, let's get him up there in a decent ways. We've got the Calliope in. We'll bring in Ashara. And we will go Elves and Dwarves, since Jarlaxle's our DPS. And we'll take her up a ways. We already have Minsk in, and I believe he's favored... Oh, I haven't hit his favorite enemy. He doesn't have an Aberrations, so... It's unfortunate. I tend to just go Humanoids for this event. And then, like I said, we've already got Hitch in, we've got Makos in, and we've got Tyrell in his Moonbeam form back in the back. Sitting by himself, he gets a pretty solid buff, so let us see if we can beat this. What I'm going to do initially is I'm going to lock down with Nayeli's Stun, which is 3 on the keyboard. Oh, wait, wrong. I jumped. I forgot. He wasn't the next thing. I need to go 1 level. Alright, well, we'll let those come back. And then we'll get back to chat. Because I miffed it. What state do you live in? I live in a constant state of anxiety, currently. As I think a lot of people do. Are there plans when you update the speed tier list with the updated Deacon and the new Champion Melf? Yes, there will be a update to my speed tier list at some point. I've kind of been trying to get the event stuff and this stream taken care of first, so I will look at that this weekend. Because Melf needs to be added, a Deacon got adjusted. Deacon will move up a little bit. I don't know if they'll move up a lot. He's still... for those who don't know, like, I don't really want everybody ending up at, like, S tier. I want everybody in, like, C. Like, the middle of the road, the balanced area. So I think he'll probably be a little... That's where Deacon was. I think he'll be, like, maybe up to B now? Maybe A. I don't know. I think probably B. Because his speed is super limited, like, what he does for speed. It definitely speeds your game up, but it isn't, like... it is still super reliant on killing things very quickly, so it falls off late game. Catching up. Nice shirt. Thank you. Hey, if you can see it under the beard, I've got my partner shirt, Idle Champions. Woo, thank you guys. Beards get in the way of all the entertaining shirts nowadays, unfortunately. Catching up. Scrolling. Magnificent DCUO? Question on boss fights. Why is it that sometimes I can be fighting a boss and get all the way down to only one minion being left? Boss is dead, but that minion takes no more damage. So that, I'm just going to make some assumptions here, usually because 99% of the time they're correct. I'm guessing you have Crawl in. Crawl has some abilities that create what we in the Idle Champions game call leftovers. Basically, Crawl will spread his plagues amongst lots and lots of champion enemies on the screen. And then he's going to have like Traitor and Pain on them, and then you're going to do damage, but someone's not going to have either the same number of stacks of Pain on them or just have no stacks of Pain on them, and you're going to blow up everyone but that person because it's the Pain that was allowing you to do all that damage, and it was multiplied by the Traitor buff that they had on them as well. And without all of them, you're just not going to be able to kill that minion, even if you stack up 10 stacks of Pain on it. So you either have to do something like bring in Jim Dark Magic. He has an ability that can called the Wand of Wonder, which has like a 25% chance to turn an enemy into an Abyssal Chicken. An Abyssal Chicken has like next to no HP, and you can just kill it really easily and move on to the next level. If you don't have Jim, you just have to either try swapping in a debuff champion like Sasaspia, who works really well for that, or Ayla if you didn't have her, already have her in. Just try to do something to make it so that that enemy takes more damage so that you can get rid of them. Otherwise, you just have to go back a level and try it again. Krull is the ultimate RNG factory. Sometimes just backing up when you fail on a level and moving and then turning auto progress back on lets you roll right through it. It really just kind of depends on how the plagues spread. You should try to beat my 760 plus Azaka farm in an hour off 0 favor. Need some speed competition. You know, I was going to Azaka farm on my first run, and then I was like, I've got better things to do. Because I needed to finish some of the guide, so that tends to not happen, but one day. I don't remember exactly how far I got on my first run, but it was in 700s. Is Melf Stronk? He's a Stronk speedster. His support stuff I haven't really gotten to experience firsthand fully yet. It's been a little busy. Get him for some Melf improvement. Yummy puns. I'm just catching up to where my dad joke fired off. Hey. Can we up the volume on the stream? It's very quiet. I'm not sure that it can go up much higher than it currently is. I can try to move the mic a little closer. And speak a little louder, but that's about it. Nice unnecessary censorship on the closed captioning. I don't know what's going on down there. I can't see it myself. I mean, I can. It's over here on a big screen, but I'm not looking that way. All right, so we have my cooldowns back. So let's do this. I'm going to click on 100 this time. I'm going to stun the boss right away. I'm going to drop some multi-target ults, but I'm not going to drop them all. Some multi-hit ults, and then we'll see what we got to do from there. So, stunning the boss, firing off some wave clear, and some single target attack. So all of these, that was Jarlaxle and Nayeli, or that was Nayeli into Jarlaxle into Tyrell and Celeste. And we just kind of wipe it off right through there, right? So that's kind of the idea. The perfect ideal situation when you're attacking an Alderbrain with your starters is basically stun, then drop whatever multi-hit ultimates you have. Because you just need that to hit one, like with 1 point of damage. You can hit everybody in your formation if you keep the screen clear, is going to be able to take a point of health off the Elderbrain. And then you just have to keep the screen clear long enough for you to finish it off. We'll try it, we'll see if we can get up to 150 on this account and try it again. But for now, we're going to switch back over to the main account and see what's going on there. And it looks like we walled and we died. Yay. Walled and died. Why can't I turn off closed captioning? Because this is built into the stream. That's its official place. This is not the closed captioning extension, so this will show up on the VODs and everything. Alright, we're going to swap some things around. I'm going to bring in probably the best new player tank in the game. That's Ayla. She's available right now. Right here, right now, in Greengrass. There we go. She's fantastic because she makes herself her own shield. Here with Shielding Storm. When an electrified enemy attacks Ayla, she gains a temporary HP at 10% of her max health for each alive electrified enemy. So it's not enormous on a level like this, but on regular levels, it gets pretty awesome. Let's throw some damages around. We may need to add to our damages. We actually have to actually bring in an actual damage champion. So, who do we want? Let's bring in Strix. Strix recently got an update. We'll go Anxious Fireballs. And we'll see how she does. I'm going to put her in the place of Havilar here. I'm going to move up Shandy. And I'm going to see if we have enough damage. Nope. Still not. Still not happening. Alright. Time to get rid of other people then. Do we want to go? Well, here, let's do this, and some this, and some Calliope. I didn't come into this with a specific formation I really wanted to end up with, but we'll see what happens. As we go. Yep, that did it. Alright, we'll let that run for a while. Stream's name suggestion, Gaarawarr's gargantuan gorillas. Gorillas. Gorillas would be interesting too. Alright. Oh, I wanted to see the closed captioning try to fuddle its way through the cough. No, I'm not coughing into the microphone. Thoughts on Morgaine? I feel like she's really powerful, but I rarely see you use her. Kapakuma, where is she again? Oh yeah, she's here with Ayla, which is probably part of the reason you don't see me use her that often. I tend to lean towards Ayla for all the things, but now that the debuff changes have come through, that may change. It may be a thing where I use them both. Honestly, lately I've been doing a lot of the Strahd variants, and in that case I'm using Birdsong as DPS, so I feel like Morgaine will probably show up in more formations now after the changes to how ultimates work with debuffs. I just don't think we're quite far enough into the evolution of the meta to see that happen yet. Catching up on chat. Free play on Ayla to get chests before going for Ride the Storm. Let me take a look. If it's one of her harder variants, then probably. Ayla starts at level 10 and the front of your formation cannot be moved. Oh yeah, so she's going to be forced into the tank role. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be better if you have gear on her. So leaving that until next weekend to do, when you'll both have gear for Ayla and also be getting a weekend buff, can be beneficial. Definitely, since it costs you 5,000 tokens to attempt it, you don't want to try it without knowing you're going to beat it. When you hit your wall, if you aren't planning to pop consumables, it's almost always better to just reset instead of farming a bit to push a few more levels. Yeah, I mean, if you're not really treating it like a favor run, like a favor run to me is I'm gonna push as far as I can. I'm gonna pop full stacks of consumables and do all the things to get as much favor as I can. Otherwise, there's no reason to push that deep. So unless you're like in a time gate and you're just trying to get silver chests, yeah. So yeah, I mean, if you're not treating it as a deep favor run, then there's no reason to pop consumables and no reason to hang around. Can you make a guide explaining the icons you see in the game? Jellicle, like all of these? I don't really do the visual guides. And that would be a very visual thing. So that's like a Mars thing, maybe. Like the problem is I make all my guides for Reddit, and Reddit doesn't let me embed images. I mean, I can link to images, but then you're opening, like clicking on all the images, which is super numbing. But Mars makes great visual guides, so maybe he'll do that one day. Let's see. Trying to catch up on chat, folks. I swear I'll get there. I'll get there eventually. Oh, Favor stops helping you? Yeah, eventually, Snow White Tiger. Eventually, Favor does nothing. Like right now, all this Favor I have isn't going into my champions. My champions are maxed out. What's pushing me, and what will ultimately push me, is things like all of these blessings that I have. Oh, wait, here. All of these blessings, and all of these blessings, and then all of these perks. Like if you come over here. Oh, I don't even have my perks into global. I'm a bad Gar. We're going to do that here real quick. So I've got all these things in the global perks helping me push further. So let's reset and let's just dump all the perkage. Don't know that I necessarily want to max that one out. Let's be a little efficient. Just a little bit. This is a very Strahd thing. But, whatever. I could probably do this better, but I don't want to spend 5 minutes just leveling up all of my perks efficiently. Trying to spend as little as possible here, folks, because I want to try to get as much as possible down here on this one. You'll see why in a second. Reduce the health of all enemies by 4%. Like anything, this is ultimately where I want to put as many points as possible. There, I get 13. Because that's gonna be nice. All right, that'll work. So that kind of stuff is going to help me push even further, more than even. Oh, see, look at that, chunking through everything. Now that we got our perks back, more even than Favor will. It's at a certain point because Favor's going to keep stacking up, but it's not gonna. You can't really put it anywhere. You can continue to dump Favor and overlevel your primary DPS. The gains on that are very low unless you have outrageous amounts of Favor. What is the use of the bouquets? Black Hat. The bouquets are what you spend on free plays and variants. So in an event, they limit you to the amount of things you can do by giving you a cost. It costs 2,500 bouquets. Whereas these are costing 500 because I haven't done any of them. Free plays start at 500. Every time you do one, it goes up by 500. So you do 500, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, and then 2,500. 2,500 is the highest cost. And then it just repeats at 2,500 each every time then. And then each of the variants has a cost as well. The current year is always more expensive than the previous years. So a lot of people like to run all the previous event stuff first because it's cheaper, and then run all the current stuff. But that's what bouquets are for. You earn that eventually just over time, one every 25 seconds, even when you're offline. So by the time, next weekend ends, you'll have earned a lot of them. So don't worry if you're out right now. If you were to completely disregard gear for a new player, what champions would you recommend? Krull. Krull doesn't need gear to do all the crazy Krull things. So that would be number one. Honestly, I think everybody else. After that, people like Zorbu, if you can get to slot 12 regularly, Zorbu's great. He doesn't necessarily need gear, but he gets way better with it. So does Krull, but Krull can do all kinds of crazy stuff without gear, which is he's the kind of the backbone of my gearless account at this point. He lets me go real far. You use potions and bounty contracts on gearless? No, I do not. I just play it the way it is. Swapping Krull for Ashara, sacrilege. Well, I wanted to give that new player experience. We'll go back and do a more kind of mid-player with Krull type version here in a bit. Why not Ashara as the DPS? Oh, on the new player account. I mean, you can do it. Ashara can DPS. Specifically for the Elder Brain, if you can use your ultimates to clear off all the minions, it doesn't really matter. If you're having trouble pushing back the minions, then Ashara would probably be a better DPS than Jarlaxle. So let's switch everybody back over here. Wait, where was I anyway? There we go. I had him in. And Jarlaxle is always going to hit from behind, so he can't wave clear off your tanks, which is a problem. So if you're having that issue, definitely go back and use Ashara instead, or Minsk. What was I doing? I was doing this, and a little of this. So I want to keep Paulton surrounded by as many people as possible, usually. I say usually because he also likes to be on the edge of formation. This should be okay. Oh, that's right. Celeste up here because I had her in War Spec. If you're going to put her 2 back, you need to put her in Life Domain. But she's currently in War Domain, so let's get her back and rolling. And we will turn on the Roaming Familiars for some extra damages, and we will spread out some love here with some levels, so we can try to get up to 150 to show that off. Boom. And we're back. Going super fast. And we capped again. Alright, so let us take a moment here and try to go a little more end game. I like Deacon's probably okay for now. I think we're probably going to take her out. I think we're going to put him in. Do Moonbeam for now, because he is up in that corner all by himself, which is super nice. And then we are going to swap in the Kroll. For all the Kroll damage. This is going to be a... Well, actually, we'll start with Pain. Someone remind me later, or I'll try to remind myself, before we do some Azaka farming to switch over. And I'm going to put this over here, and this should get us for a ways. Cry 3737, love your show. You said previously that Black Viper was your favorite conceptually, but you never use her. How many red rubies does she have in the Gearless account? I don't know that I use her on my Gearless account, so none. Probably. I would think that would give her an edge. Yeah, on the Gearless, maybe, but I also have Zorbu on Gearless, and he's going to be more powerful Gearless than Black Viper, unfortunately. I'm a fairly new player with about 25 champions. I play her almost every round to increase my gold with Jarlaxle. Yeah, she can do that. And she's a fine DPS early on for new players. She just falls off in comparison to others. Doesn't mean she's bad. It's just because she's a multi-target attacker and not like an AoE, it's harder to use her at high levels because you get overrun easier. Also, your Black Viper posted she has a chance to double boss gold. I don't remember that. I'll have to go back and check. Where is she anyway? Oh, she's here. Let's see. On this account... So on my main account, I've got over 15,000 gems. But it caps at 6,500. So once you get to 6,500, you get all the maximums that you can get currently with her. Which is why people tend to use Zorbu instead, because Zorbu doesn't have a cap. He has diminishing returns, but no cap. Gar's beard gets more luxurious the more kills the Hitch gets. Ugh, if only that were true. Super new player here. Welcome to the game. Ouch, rug burn. Yeah, that's gonna hurt. Just unlocked the 3 event champs and wondering who you think I should time gate first. No one right now, but once you get out of it, once you get out of the event, time gate Crawl, if you don't have him. So right now you want to focus on the 3 event champs. Unlock them, get them some gear, like get enough favor to do all those variants, and then use all of your tokens to run free plays. I prefer Ayla for the first one to put a lot of gear on, and then, you know, if you get a decent gear on her, like all blues on her, and then move on to Melf. If you get all blues on her, then you could work on Narak. Also, is there a certain milestone I should hit in main campaign before attempting a time gate? I think before you start doing time gates, it's probably good to have at least one of the double damage blessings. So that's up here in the global blessings. Like over here. This double damage, every tier 1 has a double damage blessing. So if you can get at least one, that's going to make that time gate go by super quick. Especially since you start with no favor and you have to work your way up. If you can get more of them, that's great. Like, I tend to tell people, when you're just starting off, your first goal is to like run Sword Coast until you can get double damage, and then switch over to Tomb of Annihilation, get your double damage, then go to Helm, get your double damage, and then go back, because the Tiamat, oof, Avernus is rough. Even with all those double damages, you want even more help to get that one there. But if you can get those before running a time gate, that's great. I mean, you'll get a natural time gate every 3 weeks. You don't have to rush on the other ones. Those saved time gate pieces will save forever. So, really trying to speed through some of the chat here. If you stun with Naeli, does that stop minions from spawning? Sometimes. Depends on how the boss works. Like, I feel like if it's a boss that calls forth minions, it will stop them for a short period of time. Feels that way, but not always. Usually it just kind of pauses whoever's on the screen. It's best to just push as far as you can to farm for chests in free play once you've done the other event clears. You don't farm chests in events by pushing deep. You just have to get to level 51 to get your random event chest. It's time gates that you get to push deep on, and then you only have to push deep once. So yeah. Wow, almost an hour into the stream, folks. We'll be here for another hour. I am trying to catch up with chat. I do not know how far behind I am. Wait, Ayla is the best new player tank. Is she actually tankier than Beryl? I tend to use Beryl most of the time. Kirathi, Ayla does the kind of hacks that Beryl does, but without, and by Beryl, folks, we're talking about Tyrell, without needing the crazy item levels. She can just do that base, because she has her shielding ability that is uncapped. It's based off health. 10% of her max health, uncapped for any reason, just by people attacking her. She doesn't need the crazy item levels. That just happens. Whereas Tyrell needs this ultimate. Like, his shield is based off his ultimate bite, so you need his ultimate as short as possible to really be able to tank super strong with him. So yeah, I think Ayla works out better for most people than Tyrell. Like, as you get deeper, then Tyrell becomes better. Alright, we are kind of rocking, so let's just go super meta, fantastic, farming, outrageous, super cyan, DPS, whatever other things you want to say. Let's just go with what people tend to say are the crazy good stuff, and we'll show you why. So we've got the Zorbu in, we've got Zorbu in his damage spec, which is the left spec. Avern is in his good with sturdy mirrors. He's going to sit here in this little group, Avern is, be surrounded by people that are mostly good. And then we're going to swap out the Deaconses for the Brunors. And we'll go Shield Master because we want to ramp up as people build up on the tank. And everybody else is good, I believe. That should take us a little further. Yeah, ripping right through that Elder Brain, so we're good there. Now, here I'm going to start putting some familiars out. I'm leaving the 6 on the field because they automatically pick up gold and kill distractions and all that jazz, so that helps us move faster. And I put my Mage Hand down here to overlevel Zorbu, just to give him as much of an edge as possible. Then I've got 7 familiars left. I'm just going to place those. I'm just going to put 4 roaming. And we'll go with that. We'll let them just burn through stuff. That's a Gaarawarr face cam. It is. Oh my god. Did I hear that Mars is coming out with a new guide? Iltazine, I mean, Mars and I have kind of co-authored a guide that has been in the works and slightly delayed with everything that's going on, which he was trolling me about earlier, which is one on how to efficiently spend gems, since that question tends to get asked a lot. At some point that will be out. There has been a lot of other things he's needed to update with the version 1.0 launch, so that went on the back burner. It happens. Gaarawarr's Gearage, kind of like Gaarawarr's Garage, which I would like that stream as well. Yeah, Gaarawarr's Gearage. That's interesting. Catching up in chat. What patron challenge makes you want to smack your face against your keyboard? The ones that either say only support or only DPS. They're basically saying the exact same thing. Because only support, most of the tank champions in the game have a support tag, except for like Archon. So he can be the one thing that isn't a DPS in that formation, and it's just, yeah, it's super slow. Super slow. Just takes a while. The ones that I don't don't do anymore, though. I'll point out. Oh, not in this. Here. Open a Vajra patron chest. Open a Mert patron chest. No. No. I'm not spending 5,000, excuse me, patron currency to earn 900. Not happening. That makes no sense for me. Unless I absolutely need something out of those chests. Not happening. What is considered an edge of a formation? Any spot that is not completely surrounded by 6 other spots? No. An edge is going to be a front, a back, a top, or a bottom. In most cases, but how you figure that out, like Ayla is at the front edge, Zorbu, Calliope, and Krull are all bottom edges. Krull is also on a back edge, though, because he has nothing in the 2 spots behind him. Catti Brie is, like, she could be, you would think she would be on, like, on a back edge, but she's not, because Gromma is just right here touching her adjacent spot, so she can't. But Gromma and Korth are both back edges, and Tyrell is both a top and a front edge, oddly enough, because there's nothing in front of him. And then Brunor and Averin are both top edges because there's nothing above them, but there is something back and down off each of them, so they are not a back edge. Things like that. There's a guide, I have a Formations 101 guide. You can hit up the Reddit. It kind of goes over that kind of stuff. If Hitch your DPS, maybe swap Palton and Minsk to take advantage of Palton's edgy upgrade. Nomad, I can look at that when I go back over there, but I believe the reason I didn't was because that would put him next to Hitch, and he won't buff people that are next to him. But we'll get back to that. I will check in a moment. Oh my god, 6,500 is the Black Viper cap. I just got 3,500 recently. I'm never going to max her. You'll max her eventually. You just got to keep using her. You got to realize I've been using her since she came out. Not constantly, but she will go into my gem farming formations just because. And I don't know why. Just do. Should I get a 4th familiar or use on gold chests first? It depends on the costs, Zalil. If you're talking about the 4th one that costs like 50,000, probably make sure that you're at least in all blues on your core and evergreen champions before you drop 50k on Boo. I think it's Boo. I don't remember. If you could force all players to use a champion for a day or a week, who would you choose and why? Ooh. Ooh. That's rough. Assuming you had everybody, I would say right now I would probably make everybody use Birdsong because she's kind of fun right now. I mean, she's not as cool. I don't know if she's as strong and as cool as she used to be, but I feel like she's kind of come back a little bit. Ooh, we are kind of walled out here. This is not good. All right. So I'm going to hide all Let's get all my cooldowns back. We'll come back to that. Is there an actual area cap? No, not an official one, Jothe. There is. It is very hard to get over 1,000. Some people have done it. It's getting easier to do every time they add things to the game that give you more progression. But there isn't an actual area cap anymore that I'm aware of. No name yet? No, Boulevard Knights. We still do not have a name for her. This is Gaarawarr's as yet unnamed stream. I'll keep trying stuff. I don't know. We'll figure something out eventually. How are we supposed to remember how to spell Gaarawarr? You can just put Gar. G-A-A-R. That tends to be the shortened form. Gaarawarr's Guidance is the stream title option. Alright, I think we've got the stuff back. Here's what we're going to do. Because this is, I do want this to be a deep run, we're going to go epic potions for everything. Yeah. Alright. And we are going to hop forward and try to kill the Elder Brain. Now here's what's going to happen. So this is more high-level strats. I've got speed potions going. I don't know if it's going to work. This throws it off sometimes. And my FPS is not looking fantastic, so this may not work. But if you have high FPS for your game and you're not running speed potions, as you transition onto the Elder Brain screen, or Elder Brian, as he likes to be called by his friends, you hit that Krull ult as the screen wipes. And when it loads in, if it's done right, and triggers right, they will just torpedo right onto the Elder Brain and nuke him. So we're going to try that. And it didn't work. Yeah, I'm going too fast. So now we just have to wave clear. And yeah, we're gonna have to find another way around this because we do not currently have the targeted wave clear to get rid of these guys in the back. But we will hopefully show that version of it off on the other account. Alright, so I want lots of wave clear. I'm using an AoE champion, but he's just not able to do anything at the moment. So one thing, there we can pop some concerted ults. And nope, still not working. Alright. Let us get the clickers out. And oh yeah, I forgot I took those off. Fire breath for the win, folks. Gaarawarr, which upgrade path to use with Ayla and why? Cocoa plant. I use, I think it's Stormcaller? Yeah, Stormcaller. Basically because it reduces the cooldown on Ayla's Storm Aura. And if we go back up here, Storm Aura starts out initially at every 4 seconds a random enemy approaching the formation is primed. Primed enemies take more damage from all champions. So it drops it down to 2 seconds, which cuts it in half, which basically means that every time something loads in, it's making sure that all the enemies that are coming in are taking more damage. I like that more than the stun. There isn't really anything that plays too much off stunned enemies right now, so I just like to make sure they're all debuffed. Scrolling through chat. I always treat those open patron chest challenges as though they were discounted patron chests. Yeah, I mean, you can. You can, I guess. I don't know. I think I have the gear on most of my champions. I should probably start opening up more of those patron chests if some of my champs that don't have epics have it on that. But I don't know. I don't know. I just don't like those. They just don't feel good for me. Have any of those post 1K not abused some kind of damage bug? Megiddo, I think Ronin... Well, no, I think Ronin was in the 900s. I think most of the people that have crossed 1,000 used some kind of... abused some kind of thing that was going on. Like whether it was the OG Barrow and Hammerstack or the Spurt death thing not resetting and it just getting outrageous damage or something like that. But we're getting closer to the point where it's not going to be necessary to abuse anything. So, Gaarawarr's great stream might get some copyright issues. Yeah, definitely might. Definitely might get copyright issues. Hey, folks, guess what? I caught up with the chat. Oh my. Welcome to ASMR. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. All right. Focusing on the stream. Adjusting the squeaky chair. Ah, sinking back. Let us take a look here. We've got to get a little further. We're up into 668. Like I said, my cap tends to be in this, probably now in the 7s. My highest ever was 810, but that was before the change to debuff, so I don't think I can get there again. So we're going to throw on the Hour Potions for damage and heroism. And Fire Breath, just because I've got it. Pop it if you got it. Alright, and then we're just going to let this cruise. Ooh, ASMR, please no Gar. Yeah, no, we're not doing that. Squeaky Chair, Gaarawarr. Yeah. Gaarawarr the Guru. Gaarawarr's Guiding Gauntlet. Yeah, I don't. We're staying. I kind of want to stay. So I kind of want to stay away from guide, since Mars already has a guide. Otherwise, we would be Gaarawarr's Guides live, right? I mean, that would be the easy option. Some enemies are spawning with a circle and an arrow pointed left up. I have no idea what this is. Cry 3737. That is the bonus spawn indicator for Melf. So when Melf's speed up ability spawns an extra enemy, it does the little up left indicator with an arrow. I learned that myself in chat in Discord from the handy helpy people there. Gaarawarr Stream of Consciousness. Yes, honestly, sometimes it feels like that's kind of what we're doing. Gaarawarr, we're doing it live. Gar's Gravy Train. I mean, I'm not making any money. Like no one's tipping me here. You can sub to the stream for CNE. That's going to help them a lot, and probably help keep streams like this alive. But there's no gravy train. Maybe a gravy boat a little later. Hold on. Orange juice time. Any tips for Melf's broken RNG? Wait until it's not broken. Legitimately. That's what you're going to have to do. I think we died there just because I wasn't using ultimates. I'm going to say that was what it was, and we're going to go back and try it. Yeah. So let's do the roaming ult thing again. Gaarawarr's Art of War. I don't know. Giggle-worthy closed captions. Yeah, well, that's just a freebie with every stream. All right, let us go take a look at the Gearless account. Where did we get to? We got to 120. Let us look. What can we upgrade? I think I need to get to 70 or to 150 with Tyrol for a boost. Yeah, okay. And then Makos is going to be, he'll get a triple Dark Blessing at 45. Can we get him there? No. Nope. Oh, Crawl. And let us go Pain. Just to try to push a little deeper. We'll get a little more. 365. I know this for Celeste. Let's see what... Some of these are just breakpoints that I already have memorized. Basically, I want to spend efficiently by only going from like 200 to 225. I don't care about taking Cathris to 220 because he's not my DPS. I just want to get him up here for that global damage bonus, and then up here at 250. So how far can we take him? We can take him all the way to 250. So I'm putting my points there. What do I have for Nayeli? Oh, 235. She gets health, and that actually helps us as the tank. I knew that. Let's get the health in. Let's get health on everyone, and a little more there. And then Paulton gets a stronger together at 490, but that doesn't help us because we're not using Strix DPS. That really only works on the Waffle crew. But we'll get him there anyway, just so we don't have to worry about him. And we'll turn this back on. Alright. Are you the Gaarawarr that posts the Your Ex Champion Guide posts on Reddit? Snugglewump, yes. For better or worse, I am. Anything that says Gaarawarr's Guide to whatever or Your Ex Champion Guide. The Your Ex Champion Guides are basically the individual guides that I bundle it's all about the bundling in with the event posts, the event guide posts, so that we can always have something that's updated. I try to keep those updated whenever they make changes to the game. And then I put a little tag at the top that says when it was updated last. So they're all updated through 1.0. What is Gromma doing in the formation? I am just wondering if I'm missing something. Also, what spec choice does she have? So in my other, on the fast one, let me get back over here. Gromma is supporting in the back with Circle of the Arctic. And let's just go down. Circle of the Arctic, Gromma casts Sleet Storm when they attack the target enemy, and all nearby enemies are slowed by half, and their attack timers are doubled. So this is going to build survivability for my front line, which is important in the Krull age. Krull wants as much time as possible to spread his plagues everywhere, get them on like as many unique instances as possible all over the place. And then Circle of the Arctic also, once you get to 200, applies Freezing Breeze. Enemies affected by Sleet Storm take additional damage. So she is acting as a debuffer as well in that back line. So she's doing work, doing lots of work. I like her. I prefer her this way. There are a lot of people that like to do a lot of manual pushing by putting her in Mountain as your tank, and then having Nayeli with Oath of Vengeance, and then as Gromma's about to die and you've got stacks of the debuff from Mountain on all the enemies, you swap in Nayeli and then wipe the other enemy out. It's a very laborious process that I don't really like to get involved in, so I prefer to just use her in Arctic. But it works. It works. There's lots of different ways to do things. Gaarawarr's race against the chat. Yes. Gar, can you review the weekend buffs and how useful each could be? Sure, yeah. Actually, I didn't even look at that. So Jamila is, 400%. So if you use Jamila, normally, she's got a pretty solid buff. If you've been using, like, Minsk instead of Jamila, or if you were using, like, Hitch still, and you can unlock Jamila and actually get her some upgrades, it might be a good time to use her this weekend, because that's a pretty solid buff. That's basically 5x her damage. Celeste, solid, that's Crusader's Mantle, so that's just her buffing damage ability. All the support buffs like that are always going to be at 200%. Deacon's Troubadour Troop, that's buffs for the more bards you have in a formation. So if you're using a bard-heavy formation, that's going to help. If you're not, not so much. Quilek just gives flat 200% to all champs, so he can just fit in anywhere at that point. And then Catibri's Mark for Death, that's her debuff that she puts on people. When Catibri hits an enemy, they take more damage from all champions for 60 seconds. And then that's the thing that it's buffing. It's going to give you 200% to that. And then they also get stunned if they get hit 10 times. So that one's pretty awesome. And before it's just going to be the title arrived late. Yeah, who knows. Gaarawarr's Grand Adventure. We did talk about that one. But we just had Lulu's Grand Adventure. PAX East, for those of you who are around. I don't want to step on Lulu's branding. Wait, is that 2 accounts going? Capitan, it is. It is. I have... Oh, wait, what screen are we on? I'm on the main account. You can see it right down below the champions and right above the closed captioning. It's my Steam account. And then if I switch, bada boom, Garrus account, which is WebGL, based off games.codenameentertainment.com. So, both at once, for your viewing pleasure. This is the super slow one, though. I want to say 175 is his next. Yeah, 160 overkill. This is just for him, though. So if you're using him as DPS, this is an efficient upgrade. Well, all of them you would upgrade if he was your DPS, but I only care about his ult at 175. That'll be coming up soon. Those guides are freaking awesome. Thank you. You're welcome, Snugglewump. Glad you enjoyed them. Make sure you hit up Mars's and Silese's. Lots of people do guides, all from different viewpoints, and that's important because everybody learns in different ways. 20 accounts? No. No, I think Mars is getting close to that, but... Do potions work in offline? The speed potions do not, but the epic potions, the normal epic, like the other epic potions, like health and damage and gold find and whatnot, those should apply, but not the timed ones. The timed ones won't work offline.
Hey Gar, were there any champ abilities that surprised you at how useful they turned out to be? Ooh. Huh. I'm not sure. If anything, I'm probably the person that's a little more optimistic when I see abilities. And think, oh yeah, that'll fine. That'll be fine. That'll work. That'll be cool. And then either they don't work that well, or something. Yeah, I don't know. I think the only one that I thought it was overpowered before I even saw it was like Briv's skipping ability. I still think it's overpowered. So that one didn't surprise me at all. Is Jamila broken though? I swear, can I get her Berserker Confidence to actually trigger? I don't know. I haven't used her in a while. Zanmorn, if you think it's not working well and it's not triggering, then definitely submit a ticket. How should Quilek be said? Just like it's spelled, I guess. I say Quilek. I know that I think they shortened it, like his nickname was Quill. So that's, I think, why I say Quilek. I've actually never, spoiler alert, I've never watched Heroes of Eros. That's probably the one show that we have champions from that I haven't watched a lot of. I think I've maybe watched 1 or 2 episodes. What does the gearless account mean? Not buying opening chests. Yeah, I don't open any chests, basically, is what that means. Like you see down here, there's no gear. On all the gear is empty. So basically, I unlock the champions during the events, and I will use them in my formations. But it helps me to approximate what a person would be experiencing. And I can go back, like, as if they were a new player. The only thing that I do ramp up are my blessings. I do have one of the doubles. Oh, no, I do have a couple of the doubles now. Yeah, the first 3. I just haven't made it here yet. Like I said, Avernus is painful. So I have Deacon, Sentry, Narak, Birdsong, Ayla, Melf, and a Time Gate available outside of the Core 12. Any suggestions of who to swap in for the event? Like swap in? I mean, I would say you're definitely going to be wanting using Ayla once you get her. She's right here, right now. She's a great tank. This will let you, like, if you need a... Do we have any 2 tanks in this formation? I don't know. I like her as a tank. Otherwise, she's a great support as well. If you don't have Morgane or Birdsong. I would use her over Makos. I like that debuff action better than I like Makos' stuff. So I'm not sure if that's what you meant by who to swap in for the event or not. I mean, otherwise you can use all of those. Like Deacon and Sentry are going to speed you up even if you're not going to use them at your wall. Same with Melf. Briv misses out on a lot of gems, though. No, he doesn't. Fox, he shouldn't miss out on anything. When he jumps a boss, it may not show you that you got the gems for the boss, but it should show up in your loot journal. It's right up here. It should show up as loot for the boss and tell you the level. You can just check there when he skips a boss. On the show, they pronounce Quilek as Keelek. Oh, okay. I just know they had, like, his shortened one was Quill or something. Okay. His nickname is Quill, pronounced like the feather you write with, but his full name is pronounced like Keelek. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I hadn't watched that one. We'll just call him Quill. Yeah, I think we're just staying caught up on chests. How many chests do you have saved up on your Gyros account? All of them. There. 243 silvers, 25 gold, and then a handful of, anywhere from 1 to 10 of all the others. Man, I ran a lot of Krond free plays, apparently. If there's a lot of silvers for something, it's just because I ran tons of... I just decided to dump all my free plays into that. How many chests do you... Oh, wait. Any thoughts on what patron to focus on? I think most people would agree... Oh, I can't do any of them on here. Most people... Let me switch over to the other account here in a second. Most would agree that you would start with Mert, and you would go up to Challenge Accepted. Let me hop over after getting to that ult, and then we will switch cameras. Boom. Most people... Oh, hey, I'm over 700. You go to Mert, and what you do Mert for is to get this Challenge Accepted, Tier 4 perk, maxed out. Increases the amount of patron challenge reward earned by 20%. So that just means you're going to make more currency over here. That's what this plus is to the right. That's coming from that challenge accepted. So people usually run Mert first and max out that. And then, if they can unlock the others, they'll go after the others. But that tends to be the primary one because you want to maximize the amount of currency you're earning every week because it is so limited. Does Briv also not misread gems? Yeah, all the gems stuff should... Everything that would normally drop off a boss should come straight into your loot journal. When does it wrap around? When does what wrap... Oh, when does, like, hovering over all the chests wrap around? I don't know. You need to do an unboxing day for all this chest sometimes? No, I don't. It's a gearless account for a reason. I'm not putting any gear on it. What we can do, though, is we can come over and open up some silver Melf chests. That would get me banned on some channels. Oh, come on. A duplicate? Hold on. Let me just show you how bad that duplicate draw was, folks. Scroll into the end. Come on. Oh, almost got there. Come on. Slide. All right. I only have these 3 items, and I got a duplicate already? Come on. Come on. Alright, so I really want all my white items first because I'm super OCD, which in this case means obsessive collection disorder. Melf's Minute Meteor, don't be fooled by the name. Alright, so I filled that one in. Oh, okay, I will take both the cloaks. Because I got the white one with the green one, I'm not kind of blocking myself from getting the white one later. Alright, let's see what else we get. Oh, okay. I will take both of these, because again, I'm getting the white and the green at the same time. That's great. I could keep my offhand free for somatic gestures. Nice. Ooh, hey. Okay. So there's all the... Really? I already had the undershirt, though. Come on. And again... Alright. This is my pain. Alright, so I'm missing the white shield. So I'm going to still keep it to opening white chests only. This does nothing for you, just for those who are wondering. It is not about some kind of strategy for getting more powerful. This is just me not wanting holes like this in my collection. So I don't open the gold chests, I just open the white ones. If you're going to use your champion right away and you want to get the maximum use out of him, just open up everything as you get it. But I like to make sure that at least the whites are all filled in, because you can only get those out of silvers. And the way the kind of priority is, it will prioritize an empty slot, but it won't prioritize a hole in a slot, because this slot is now empty. It has a item in it. So I will much easier get like green upgrades over here than I will get this white duplicate, which is super annoying. To me. But again, obsessive collection disorder. And I think we need to still open all of my gold chests, but give me a moment. How does it block you? Basically, the way gold chests are coded to guarantee an upgrade in a slot, but an upgrade can be just going from an empty slot to an item of some kind. So once you have something that is green or blue in a slot, if you don't have the white, there is no like forced filling in mechanism for silver chests to force that slot to fill up with that item. And again, the filling in a collection doesn't mean anything at all. It's just me being obsessive about collections. Yeah, it blocks me mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. But not beardily. Nothing blocks the beard. Alright. We're still pushing forward. I was kind of waiting to see... This is a bit of what people were asking about on earlier streams. Like when you get a leftover, which is... When you get one of those characters you just can't kill, but then we killed that one, so... We'll get to leftovers eventually, and we'll talk more about them. In fact, let's just go. I think we had... So one of the other things that I do is, on my first runs, I open up all of my silver chests. And then in between events, I save up all my gold chests. So we can open all these gold chests now. Let's just do 50. Boom! Oh! Got that feat. Let's see what feat we got, folks. Calm Under Pressure for Briv. Eh. Eh. I don't really use the Overwhelm feats. That's me. Alright, lots of dupe. Lots of dupe purples. 1 in 50 though for feats, a bit under the curve. We'll see if we can pick that up in the second 40. Actually, we'll make it 50. I'll just go buy some. What I do like is getting all of these. And all of these. So this is how I fill up my medium or my bounty contracts for my next event. Is by opening these in bulk. Let's actually visit the shop. I'm doing this live, folks, because I want everybody to feel the pain of buying one gold chest at a time. Especially Codename Entertainment. You're out there watching. I know you are. This is how painful this is. Alright, am I up to, I don't know. I stopped counting. Did I get 10? Nope, 3 more. Alright, I need 3 more. See, if I could just buy 10, at least 10 would help, but no. Alright. Now we're at an even 50. Let's open all those. So, my RNG would hope that I would get 3 feats in this, but I probably won't get any. Oh, I got 1. So I'm 1 for 50 average right now. Inspiring Leader for Cisaspia. Not bad. I like 25% damage. I can't remember what I have on her right now, so we'll have to go see. Lots more potions. That's good. Ooh, and some large bounty contracts. That's always nice. I will end up dumping all of my gems, though, into gold chests at some point. So let me just swap Cisaspia in here for a second. We'll level her up. I'm going to do something that's considered bad form in most people. Most people like to run Spreading Spores. The way I use Cisaspia, though, is specifically just for boss stages with a limited number of enemies. So I'm going to go Fungal Body. And we'll take her up to the soft cap. And then we'll look what feats she has real quick. Okay, so I already have the 40%ers on her. So the 25% one isn't going to come in handy. Well, it might. Because you got to remember, this is 40% of a buff that's already pretty big. So the 25%, we might have to play around with it. 25% may help. Okay, Halo of Spores, that's the... Yeah, we might do 20% instead of the 40% Halo of Spores. Let's go take a look at our running average right now. We're bouncing around 1E79. Between 178 and 179. With Cisaspia in, so let's swap that feat and see, give it a few minutes and see if that changes. Oh, wait, wrong window. And I will catch up on chat while that works. Gaarawarr's Beards of the Forgotten Realm. I think if we were showing off different people's beards each week, maybe. Question about Gar's stream specifically from Night Sky, as no other channel does this, but is there anything I can do to fix the choppiness and static of the audio of this specific channel? Wow. I don't know. Because this is the first time I've heard it was staticky and choppy. So, I don't know. Is everybody else getting that too? Because I haven't changed anything. This is the audio settings I usually have, and I don't get that a lot from people, so maybe try refreshing, or I don't know. Yeah, I don't know then. Try, usually when I hop on a stream and it sounds odd, I like to just do the little, like, settings option and say, oh, I'm having some issue with the audio, and then Twitch likes to refresh then the audio feed, and sometimes that works a little better. But I don't know. Yeah. Hey Gar, what mic do you use? Currently, I'm using an older Blue Yeti with a pop filter. That is the best mic option I have. I do have like a Logitech headset, but it's an older headset, and that audio, man, that's what we were using originally, like when I was streaming back in December and January, And anytime I would go to try to mute it, man, it would just snap, crackle, and pop like crazy. All right, I don't think we're seeing any bonus. I think we actually went down by switching to that. So I'm going to go back to where I was with the 40%er. That's what I like to do, is just kind of keep an eye on it over time. And then we're going to go back to Brunor, because that's really where I want to be. So Saspiel will come in handy when we get to bosses that are being a little bit of a pain. But for now, Brunor will work well. Fixed it, changed quality, and refreshed. It's been weird. Yeah, sometimes, honestly, Twitch things. Because I don't do anything different here or on my own stream. But sometimes people say that, and other people are fine. It's just Twitch things. Gar, how long do you run the event with your main account? Jerbear, honestly, I'm usually done with the event the first weekend. I've already finished all of the variants. If we go back out and hop in, I'm already done with all of them. This one was super slow. Wheat from the chaff. Problem Solvers is basically like running Strahd. So that one wasn't difficult for me as a veteran. And Honorable Discharge was... We have other variants like that in the game, so that one wasn't... I literally could just click through that one with click damage because I had enough favor. So that stuff wasn't bad. So basically, I then just wait for the weekends to see, like, is there a gold buff? And that's the one thing we didn't see up here. There's no gold buff. But I will benefit from Caddy Breeze buff. The others not so much. I don't necessarily use the others in a deep pushing formation currently. So, yeah. So this weekend, the pushing won't be as fantastical, just because I'm not with all of the buffs that sometimes you might be able to get, but we'll see. But on my Gearless account, though, I'm playing every day of the event, trying to push just to get to complete the third variants. And the best I've ever done so far without gear is to complete one of the third variants. Not even all of them, just one by Monday morning. Almost 12 a.m. here, signing off for now. Thanks for coming by, Neppy. Appreciate it. I've played Idle Champions for a year by now, but I've learned so much today. Thank you. You're welcome, Bloody Meadow. That is what we do. Also, check out Mars' Guiding Hand on Wednesdays, same time slot. He does a lot of the helping as well. I think Gar is quieter than Mars or CNE peeps. Quite possibly. I don't have my mic up in my face. It is right here. It is just off screen, like literally just off screen. But it's not like, the best, super best ever audio setup. This was a mic I bought I think I bought this mic to do a podcast for Warhammer Online Wrath of Heroes, which no longer exists. That was maybe 8 years ago. It's an older Blue Yeti, but it works. It's like me. It's old and silver, but it still kicks. Yeah, Zanmorn, I get it. It's just sometimes it depends on how many times, how much that buff... The buff is applying a percentage to the feat is applying a percentage to the buff, but that buff may not be some major buff to the champion, and the flat overall damage sometimes works out a little better. You think it would work like normal, it doesn't always. I like to test it. The math interactions aren't always the way we necessarily think they're going to be, but you still find Sis useful for bosses post alt nerf? Absolutely. I've been seeing some serious wave clear with Sisaspia, even after the debuff, because you got to remember hers is not, she does not have a debuff the way everybody else has a debuff. Her stuff works specifically as a dot based off damage after the fact, and then her ultimate is based on the number of spores you have in play, which can get pretty crazy. It's not an outrageous amount of bosses on boss levels, but if I leave her in and I'm trying to clear regular levels, it's wild. wild, but I like to use her just as a little bit of extra oomph for a while to get rid of leftovers. And then when I get to the point where even that isn't getting rid of leftovers, then I bring Jim in. What affects the difficulty of a challenge? So are we talking of patron challenges? If you can clarify for me, T Doucette, so I can accurately answer, let me know. Please more humming, it is good. Ooh. I am not great with the musics. It's amazing that Gar can be challenged at this point, but I guess Gearless Gar not equal to Gar's Gearage. That's a lot of Gar in there. Can you ship Gar a really nice hitch, Mike? Yeah. I started a little less than 2 weeks ago, and I was able to complete the third variant last night, but the other two are a little scarier. Yeah, Kirath, a couple of them are scarier than others. All variants are not created equal, so yeah, you kind of got to read them and understand them. I try to put tips in my guides to kind of explain how it's going to work for people, but some of them are just, some are rough. I still think the hardest variant in the game was the one that I didn't think was going to be difficult at all, and wasn't for me, but was for everyone else. Anyone that was like like all the newer players, and that was Artemis's infamous assassin. Ooh. So I went back and ran that again on my Gearless account on stream, step by step, worked through it and made a guide for it because, boy, if you were new, it was absolutely horrendous. I think they're asking about the in-game system. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, is that patron challenges? I mean, challenges themselves patron challenges aren't difficult necessarily, which is why I'm asking. Otherwise, if you're talking about like the difficulty of a variant, like if you're looking at something and its rating here, let me go over to the other account so we can actually see a rating on a variant. Come on, load in. There we go. So if you look here, and like this one's showing, Whisper shows as easy, while Flower Power and Unlikely Hours show allies. Ooh, I can say it. Show as deadly. All of these ratings are based off your favor. It's literally just a favor check. That doesn't necessarily tell you that it's truly going to be easy. It just means you have enough favor to complete this. Most of the time. For new players, it's just kind of a guideline. Make sure it shows as easy. You should be able to finish it. If it shows as anything other than easy, it's going to be a little rough for you. Might be able to use a voice meter to bump your gain or something. Possibly. I don't have anything in between my mic and my computer, so there's other ways to improve that. It may be something that happens in the future. Right now, that is not where my money is going with everything that's going on in the world. So I keep telling my friend that plays with me that Sasaspia is the best character in the game. I think he's getting tired of hearing it. Hey, if you like Sasaspia, run Sasaspia all you want. And who cares what anybody else says. Alright, we got up to 130 here. Let me level some people, so we're not just somewhat AFK in the background. There we go. That got me a good amount of damages. We got an upgrade for Hitch, and we got an upgrade for Tyrrell. We should be able to wipe right through this. What's the story behind the name Gaarawarr? Gaarawarr is a Shurawuk name that came from Star Wars Galaxies. Shurawuk name generator. Shurawuk is the language of the Wookiees. So originally I was a 7-foot tall Wookiee in a galaxy far, far away. And then I was a pirate with a whole other name, and then I was a dwarf named Gaarawarr in Warhammer Online. And then I grabbed the last name Grudgekeeper, so now that is basically my OC that I carry along with me. Gaarawarr Grudgekeeper, because it works as a dwarf name too. Where can I watch or read your guides? Zeliel, you can watch me play the game at Twitch TV/Gaarawarr. It's shown on the left, like underneath the cameras. All the followers is, and then you can read my guides on Reddit. We also link them in the Discord. Is it possible to start a second account in Steam? Not if you already have a first account, unless you have a different Steam account. What server did you play in Galaxies? Shout out to Wanderhome. I was one of the Wander homies. I even had a guild that we made on another server that was all Wookiees. That was called Wookiees of Wanderhome. We were an all Wookiee musicians group and would play in different cantinas. That's a whole other conversation, though. Okay, hey, look, we've got a leftover, folks. So this is what happens when everybody else dies with massive stacks of plague on them, except you had one person that didn't have any. This is a crawl leftover. So the first trick is just to swap to somebody like Sasaspia. Let them throw on the spore, and then they need to build up, because of the spec I chose, they need to build up to the max spores. And we'll see, where does it show how many spores they have? Here we go. Let's get current spores up to 20 and see if it goes away. It may not. We may be past that point. Death, I'll look at that again when we go back. I keep forgetting to look at Paulton and his edge. Alright, there's the 20, and it's still there, and it's not dying. Okay, so that's not going to work. So then we come over here, and we bring in the Fabulous in his own mind, Gem Dark Magic. Spec doesn't matter here. We just need his Wand of Wonder ability. Wand of Wonder has every 5 attacks Jim uses a Wand of Wonder. It provides one of 4 random effects, and one of those turns them into an Abyssal Chicken. The second he is turned into an Abyssal Chicken, he will disappear. But you can watch Jim shoot out. Normally he does... There it goes. Normally he does twin magic missiles. But when the Wand of Wonder shoots out, it is one bolt that is a rainbow effect. So this is the slowness that comes now with... working your way up through the top and having to deal with that. Every time we hit a boss, we're gonna have to chicken that guy. And I may end up swapping Tyrrell with Ayla. We'll see. Let me go back to the other count though to look at Paulton. Paulton is not on an edge. So let me see what you said. Swap Paulton and Minsk. Okay, I can swap Paulton and Minsk. And then swap Hitch and Celeste. That's what you want. Yeah. That'd work. So Paulton being on an edge, I don't think it's not actually... Do I have edgy yet? I don't. So it doesn't actually matter yet. You got to remember what level I'm at. Edgy is a level 700 for Paulton, so it's not going to matter at all. But yes, if I had edgy, if I could get Paulton to level 700, that would have gotten me a damage increase. Unfortunately, I'm not getting 700 anytime soon. Let's see, 790 there, 690, 490. He needs 85 to get magical secrets, but he's only got 79, so that's coming up close though. We will keep that in mind. All right, let's go back. Oh, Eclipse and Starstrider, nice. That's been a long time ago. Gar, with that mic, you might not record a #1 smash hit, but I can hear you loud, clear, and crispy. Appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, it works okay. It's better, definitely better than my headphones. Von Snootingham, I've been having that happen with Kroll. Why does that occur? Okay, so let me go into that in depth again. Basically, Kroll spreads plagues everywhere. That's part of his ability. He has Draconic Plague. Every time he hits something, it applies a different kind of plague to them. Also, as things spawn in, they have a chance to automatically get a plague. And then Virulent Strain, as things die, spreads plagues to other people, which gives them even more stacks of those plagues. So you can end up in a situation where you'll have lots of like pain stacks on one person and lots of traitor stacks on another. But maybe one person doesn't have any pain stacks, like one enemy doesn't have any pain stacks on them at all, because he just hasn't gotten hit in a big stack of enemies like this, because Kroll only hits one person at a time. And then you do an attack that hits that person with traitor, that has all the traitor stacks, and it does an AoE damage to everyone around him, and wipes out everybody except for the person that didn't have any pain stacks at all, leaving behind one person, which is Kroll leftover. That's basically how it works. It's basically just a function of you not having, like on this person here in the front, this enemy in the front, He's got pilfer stacks, which are the green ones at the bottom. He didn't have any pain stacks, which is what you want. That's the top right. If we can get one to show up there, somebody just loaded in with some pain right there. Hard to see when they're moving so fast, but yeah, that's kind of how that works. But yeah, usually you can try to swap it out. You can try to use ultimates to remove them. You can try to use other more powerful buffers or debuffers like Sasaspia. But in the end of the day, the best way to get rid of a leftover is to have Jim chicken it. Otherwise, you just have to go back a level and try that level again. Any tips to minimize the chance of leftovers while idling? You have to use Jim constantly. If you're going to idle and you're going to use Krull, you just have to have Jim as part of your formation, which probably means building a Jim DPS formation or some kind of a magic-based formation. But whether that gets you as far as your normal formation, who knows? That's just kind of a function of that system. I'm not sure. It might even work better in offline mode. I don't know. I've never tested. Gar's glamorous gallivanting. I don't know how glamorous I am. I guess I could put like some sparkle glitter up here. Maybe that'd be a little glamorous. If you finish event first weekend, do you go and play other adventures and come back for random chests when you have enough tokens? Yeah, basically. Basically, once a day I come back and I do a free play to 51 in whatever champion I'm farming, which is usually the newest one. Because I've been playing since the game came out, I only really ever focus on the one champion. Because I've already done all the variants for the others. Or I go back to doing patron challenges or in my free time, or farming gems, or doing time gates. Yeah. But when I have these unkillable guys, they seem to have max stacks on them. Von Snooneyhem, they have 10 stacks. But that's not the max. The max is 40. It's just that you have to... Virulent Strain has to proc and bounce another instance of stacks onto an enemy to get more. And that's something we'll look at, maybe next time. As I just realized, we're almost out of time. But you can end up stacking, try to stack and dump lots of stacks onto one thing. You can have up to 4 instances of a plague on an enemy, but each instance has 10 stacks. So if you only have one enemy on the stream, they're only going to get to 10 stacks max, unless you had Virulent Strain proc on all the other things that died. And if that happens, you're usually probably killing that last person anyway. For Delano, which choice is better, Font of Magic or Tides of Chaos? The bench... Wait, no, I'm kidding. Only slightly. Whatever one is the right one, I believe. Let me go check. Tides of Chaos. Because you want Surge of Power. Let me double check. Yeah, this is the one that just flat buffs Delana's damage. The other one basically buffs like her burn or whatever. So you would just want to go the right spec and just buff her damage. But yeah, so we've got a leftover. We're not going to quite get to the point where we can do... I mean, we're at 7:45, but we've only got 5 minutes left. I could try to just set up a quick Azaka farm on this guy, but 7:45 with only 10 stacks is kind of cheese. So for our strategy of the day, I think we went over it a couple times. Killing off... Ooh, it turned into a Mimic instead of a... Let's leave it there. Killing the Elder Brain. Basically, if you're starter formations, you're going to want to stun lock it when the alley right out of the gate and then dump all of your multi-hit ultimates like Tyrell and Jarlaxle and Celeste on it. And then just try to wave clear and push things off. Those Mind Flayers are going to heal if they can hit you, though. So if you're not able to keep the enemies off your formation, you just don't have enough damage yet, and you got to come back to it. Also, if you have Krull, you can do that little trick where as you transfer in, you can spam Krull's ult to try to pick up just kind of a nuke on the boss right away. So let's see. We have a Mimic. So for those of you who don't know, let's try to do some quick education. Mimics drop more gold than regular enemies. So people like to farm Mimics when they do their Azaka farms. We won't get fully into this, but let's just do a quick Azaka farm. So basically, Azaka has an ultimate that sends out tigers to kill things. But they basically, every time the tigers attack, they drop gold as if they had killed the enemy. So basically, you get all the bonuses of all the gold as if you killed something, but you don't have to kill it. And you can just farm it over and over and over again. So we're going to get some Wolfgar in here. We're going to get some Dritz. This is what people are talking about when they're talking about Companions of the Hall being a gold find formation. You use them grouped up with Azaka, all the companions. You get your Jarlaxle with the Master of Piracy. Let's get him up there. I'm going to bring in... move things around. I'm going to bring in some Dinar for a moment to up his gold drop. Well, and it's already on there. So he's got a little gold drop thing. That's the icon. That's the circle with the lines coming down off of it. Once it's on, you can swap him out for Regis. And then technically I still need to get like Narak in here, but I'm not super worried. We'll buff that in, and we'll put Narak for his Githzerai focus. And all of these things are explained in a guide that Silisa wrote a long time ago on Reddit. You can look it up. But basically, you are going to use this to maximize the amount of gold you're going to gain while you're at the end of your run. You're not trying to kill this. That's why we can take all of the damage out. You just want to get lots of gold off of it. So I maximize everything. I'm now at E33% gold find, even though my favor was E24. And so far I'm at 166 E29, so let's hit this ultimate. See all the gold just dump off? It's just going to keep doing that. And I'm already up to 1 E31. So I just went up E02 gold find, or favor, on this run with one Azaka ultimate. That is the power of Azaka in her gold farming formation. We snuck that in just under the wire. Sorry if I missed any questions at the end, but I wanted to get that in there for you so you can check that out. I keep Calliope in to keep Wolfgar alive. It's not necessarily required at lower levels, but I find in the 700s the Mimic will eat Wolfgar alive, basically. Mimics they drop more gold, but they seem to do more damage. I don't know if that's just me or not. But yeah, I don't like to bring Puente in. That would get you a little more gold find, but I'd rather just AFK. I tend to put in max out my speed at 10x and max out all my gold find potions, and then I just walk away and do something else for like an hour. How to get the Mimic to spawn, that's from Jim Dark Magic. So, alright everyone, so that is the end of Gaarawarr's Untitled stream for this week. What are we in? We're in April now. April 3rd. Woo. So we'll be back next week, April 10th. Again, more Gaarawarr, in your face. Maybe we'll have a name for the stream then. Who knows? Maybe that's just going to be the running gag, is that we never have a name for it. But if you want to check out more of these kinds of streams, I do this on Tuesdays as well over my channel, twitch.tv/Gaarawarr. So you can head over there and hang out. After this stream, though, we're doing something that we always do at the end of Gaarawarr's Friday streams. And I'm typing it in chat. We can't actually go raid them from this channel, but what we like to do is head over to our pals Benuin and Crowy, starting off in probably, they're usually a little behind, 5 minutes or so, over at the Table Titan stream. Benuin and Crowy, and me, Gaarawarr, fight our way through the Eye of the Beholder, Part 2. Part 2? We already beat Eye of the Beholder 1. So you can come hang out with us there. Otherwise, I will see you again next week. So until then, bye everybody.